Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, and time for a brief disclaimer because, hey, even on the Friday show, we have a disclaimer, right? And it gives me time to talk about something that's important to me, and I have multiple sclerosis, something that I've been fighting for the last 11 months, and definitely something that I'm still waiting for results on as far as my MRI. But it's something that has been very paramount in my mind and heart, and I want to give my thanks of the National MS Society. They're a collective of passionate individuals who want to do something about MS now, to move together towards a world free of multiple sclerosis. Multiple sclerosis is comprised of unpredictable and often disabling flare-ups of the central nervous system. Such flare-ups disrupt the flow of information within the brain and between the brain and the body. The National MS Society is the largest private funder of MS researchers in the world, investing more than $1 billion to date. MS stops people from moving, but the National MS Society exists to make sure that MS doesn't. To contact the National MS Society, please call 1-800-344-4867. Once again, 1-800-344-4867, or go to their website at nationalmssociety.org. Thank you to all of you who have donated money to this amazing organization, or at least figured out what multiple sclerosis is, or demyelination is something that me and over 1 million people in this country are dealing with. It touches me in so many ways that you're learning and you're donating money. And I appreciate, and we all appreciate, all of you. And on that, it's time to talk. On this late October day, the one thing I could not stop thinking about is I really could use a conversation about anything and everything. Then I remembered, today's Friday. So, this is the Venture Forward VF Talks. Good evening, or good morning, or good afternoon, wherever you may be, and welcome to VF Talks. I am JV, and that cantankerous Triceratops, who thinks he's a T-Rex, is here tonight too. Rex, how are you? Oh man, always so crass. How are you doing on YouTube, Facebook, and Twitch on this wonderful Friday evening? It's been a week. It's been a week, and I am, like I said in the open, I definitely need this time. So I'm glad to see all of you. And who wins the door prize? It is Sue W. over on YouTube saying, good evening, all. Good evening to you, Sue. Hope you're doing well. We have Enda Trading over on YouTube saying hi to awesome fun things. Wow. Wow. Well, there's an awesome fun things on you. I wonder who that is. We'll talk about that in a second. Sarah of the Small Changes on YouTube says, Matt, JV, Rex, Sarah, how are you this morning over in Australia? We have Marcus on YouTube saying, hi, JV. And also, hi, Matt. So I think I know who this awesome fun things is. I'm just going off a guess here. And I think, we talk about who awesome fun things is, but do you think you know who Awesome Fun Things is? I don't think you do. Hey, Matt.
JV, do not fail me again.
Oh, don't worry. I'll fail you at least 900 times. That's what I do on this show.
Hello, everyone in the Venture Forward land.
Oh, you're doing a voice and everything. That's good. That's really good. That's solid. You got Marcus cracking up.
Marcus.
And Sarah has called you the king of the teas. Has that been a nickname that's followed you for a long time? Being the king of the teas?
I'll take any title that Sarah throws my way.
Well, there you go.
I trust you, Sarah. You have good taste.
We got the Gilly Man on YouTube saying, DR Gilly in the house. Welcome to the party, Gilly. How you doing? So,
if you didn't know, Darth Vader endorses E-Cam.
So what saith you, Haas Vader?
I say my troops have not yet completed the plan to eliminate the rebel scum from the universe.
Oh my. Oh my.
All right, I can't keep this shtick
yeah.
up.
I figured you had at least another hour 45 minutes in you.
Are you ready for Halloween?
Yeah. I still have to fine tune my vampire outfit, but yeah.
We're dealing with a minor Halloween issue at the Haas house. We keep buying candy. We keep buying candy for the trick-or-treaters, which isn't until Thursday. 28th is trick-or-treat in my neighborhood. And we keep eating all the candy.
You telling that is just in time for Sue to talk about her surprise. And she says, Matt, especially for you, I went to your favorite store and got a membership. Yes.
Excellent. I love when people get memberships at stores.
Yeah, so we're talking about Hobby Lobby right now. I'm just kidding. Costco. Welcome to Costco, Sue.
Oh, yeah, Costco. I was... Look what I got here.
Oh.
Costco Flyer, baby.
Costco Flyer. It's that time of the month.
I envy the business model of me going back to buy $4.80 lettuce and walking out with $200 worth of purchases. That's all I want. All I want is my mixed green lettuce bucket for less than $5, and I end up spending $200 a pop at minimum. It's crazy.
Sue says it was quite interesting.
Well, I hope that interesting turns into awesome, because the more you spend there, the more time you're in the store, the more you get to see the products, discover cool products. It's something else.
Enda says, I would be worried about the size of the cooked chickens in Costco. Ha.
That's a very popular item. There's rotisserie chickens.
Also, Sue told her husband about your lettuce. Take that for what you will.
Yeah. Yeah. 40 minutes. I drive about 30. Mine's about a half hour. Well, 20, 25.
You just have the one right by you. You don't have multiple, right?
I have one in Mechanicsburg. And where's the other one? That's the one. I basically have one.
So you don't consider the one that's off of 30 or 283 close to you.
I don't make it down that way.
And it says, hope you have Costco stock, Matt.
Is it even publicly available? That's a good question.
That is a good question.
Let's consult the Googles.
Let's go to a special edition of Trading Corner with Matt Haas and End of Trading.
Costco stock is still a buy. Why don't I own Costco?
That's a very good question.
Let's see. It is, what's its symbol? COST is the,
It's cost, yeah.
yeah. It's trading at 481 a share.
Senior financial advisor Paul Burke says, yeah, Costco is publicly traded.
I should invest. I like their business model a lot, as you know.
Oh, we know. I mean, you should be a shareholder. I agree with Enda. I agree with Paul.
As much as I spend there, I darn well should. Well, I have some things to rant about, but I want to know how you're doing. What's up with you there, JV? What do you have to share with the audience?
Well, I shared some of it last night on the show, which was supposed to be an MRI results show. And still don't have MRI results as official from my doctor, so waiting for that. I truly think that what I experienced Wednesday night was due to low blood sugar. And that's because I had some comments last night on the show saying, you're working out way too much. You gotta be careful with the infusions and everything. I saw that, and I'm thinking, yeah, I should be careful. But I also know that if I feel good enough to do it, I'm going to do it. So, you're going back to green? Oh, no.
Yeah, I'm flipping some things around. That red's starting to really get harsh.
Is it being... Yeah, sorry about that.
I need multicolor spectrum.
Yeah, well, that's fresh in my mind. I don't... I know how much the infusion took out of me last week, and I know going down this road has been really tough. I just want to know I'm doing the right thing. And I certainly don't want to have any more lesions, and I don't want to go further backwards than where I've been going. So that's been of a concern. There was fear in my voice last night for good reason. I'm being honest. That's what I'm dealing with. Weight-wise, I'm still losing weight. And I have people telling me, you gotta stop. And I agree, I should stop. I've upped the caloric intake. I lost 3 pounds this past week. I'm at 177. It's good, but if this keeps on going, I'll be concerned. Now, 177, and I got some sort of marker here in that 14.2% body fat, which is great. The one thing I need to be wary of is that number better never be lower than 10%. My body can't support it. So I got to be wary of that. I also have to be fully noticing where I am with the weight, and also remember to get out of weight loss mode because I hit my goal. So now I have to work on maintaining it. And Matt, as we talked about before, both on the show and offline, it's now a question of maintaining this for a good long time. For me, the number that I have in my head is at least 5 years. So it still means I'm tracking every day. It still means that I'm doing everything to make sure I am fully accountable of what I'm eating, what I'm consuming, how I'm working out, what I'm doing from a physical activity. I mean, I have to be really cognizant of these things. So that's been fresh in my mind. I think the other thing is, and then the floor will be yours, I promise. Today's my mom's birthday. Happy birthday, Mom. She turned 70 today. I feel horrible.
John's mom.
I feel horrible because she's in a situation right now down the street. My aunt got a positive diagnosis for the thing that we don't say, unless you would like to say Backstreet's back all right. So obviously there's a little bit. So we're not doing a dinner. Oh, Marcus. Thank you, sir.
Marcus.
Thank you very much. I appreciate that, and I appreciate you. Thank you very much. Um, so I sent her flowers, and I called her, and it's her birthday. I just want to be doing something for it. So.
I got the buy me a coffee lights on. You can barely tell.
Oh, I see the flashing. Really cool.
It's not that dramatic. Here, let me see if I can. There we go. Thank you, Marcus.
Thank you, Marcus. Austin on YouTube says, "Hey JV, hey Matt," and Easy says, "Yeah, we got to stop being a magician, JV, or you'll disappear." And Ingy says, "Costco has good protein shakes I get for my husband. Orgain chocolate sold in 18 drinks, maybe good for you." Yeah, I was thinking about it.
I get them too. They're like $22 a case, but I like them. Uh-oh.
What happened?
My autofocus.
Oh no, not the autofocus.
I'm gonna turn it off, turn it back on. You'll be able to hear me, but I'm going black.
Please stand by. Matt's having technical difficulties. Matt
now,
will be right back.
I've just increased my good lookingness by going completely.
Oh, stop it. You're a handsome man.
Okay, let's give this a try.
Ingy drinks a Garden of Life protein shake after Jazzercise. And there's the thumbs up.
There's autofocus. Let me get myself a little bit more handsome.
And
there
Financial Advisor Easy says Costco started out at $9.71 in 1987. So it's been traded for a long time.
Let's go up and up and up and up.
One more thing before you start. Austin says, "Oh my God, so many birthdays in a row. Today is my mom's birthday. Tomorrow is Austin's uncle's birthday. Sunday is his sister's birthday. And Monday is his friend James's birthday. So a lot of October babies in the bunch."
All right.
All right, Matt. Floor is yours.
I had some trouble with the cell phone people.
Uh-oh.
Can I go on a rant?
Do you want Solo Shot to go into this rant, or do you want to stay in two panel?
We could stay at two panel.
Okay, go ahead.
So, I have 2 iPhones on my plan. I did have 3, and I've been a customer for over a decade, probably 15, 18 years. Loyal AT&T customer. So it comes time to trade our phones in. One's for my wife, one's for me, and they're all under my name. So because they won't answer the phone unless you're the owner. So I'm like, from now on, I buy all the phones in the family because whenever there's a problem, I gotta fix it. Mine cracked. I don't know if I cracked it while I was on stream, and I could have replaced the screen for $180 and then turned it in to get money for it because it was an iPhone 11 Pro Max, so they were around $500 they'll give you for them when you trade them in after almost 2 years of having them. So I'm like, just forget about it. I mean, and I paid the $5 a month to get me out so I could upgrade early so I can get out of my contract. So I only had 4 months worth of payments. Like usually you do it at 12 months, but I went almost all the way to 2 years to 24. But so I only had like $120 worth of payments on this thing left in it. But I'm like, you know what? I'll send it back cracked. You let me out of my plan because I paid for that feature. Give me $0 for it, and I'll be good. And I'll get $500 from my wife's. That's what I thought was going to happen. Okay, that's what I was expecting.
Right.
What I got was so different. So they send me the UPS barcodes to send it back. I send it back, and they give me a website where you can track the package through. It's like tracking.cellphonecarrier.com.
Right.
And it says we received it, we're processing it, and then at the end there was like a last step where they credit you the money. The last step never got checked. So this happened in the beginning of August. So August, September, nothing. And then I call them, and they're like, oh, well, here's what's going to happen. Since it was cracked, we're going to bill you for the rest of the money you owe since we can't do anything. But after it lands on your bill, call us back and we'll take it off. But we can't stop it from hitting the bill. But you're gonna see the alert that you're gonna get a $300 some something or other. And then so I'm like, okay. So finally it comes through. And I'm like, okay, well, now's the time to call. They're like, don't worry, Mr. Haas. We have it. We have the notes in your account. And when you call back, they're going to see the notes and they're going to take it off. It's all taken care of, but we can't stop it. I'm like, all right, fine. I'll play. So this is almost 3 months later now. Here, I got double charges. So I had over almost $800.
Are you kidding?
Extra charges. Here, they dinged me because they didn't get either phone.
Oh my God.
They didn't get either phone. UPS says it's delivered. Their own internal tracking service says it's delivered. So I got dinged for non-returned hardware fees. Again, I could have paid $180 to get the screen fixed, and then they would have given me $500. But I was just like, I'm going to leave some money on the table. I just want this done. I want my 2 new phones. Blah blah blah. So I'm kicking myself for making that bad decision, but I just wanted it to be done. So anyway, so I'm like, what the heck? So you know what they say to me? They're like, well, what was the tracking number?
Oh my God.
I'm like, well, what do you mean? The tracking number of the UPS? I'm like, who records tracking numbers? I printed, the AT&T rep gave me the barcode via email. I printed it out, sent it back. You know what? I had it. I took pictures of the boxes, but who does that? So I gave them to him, and they're like, oh, and they're him and hauling. This was an hour and a half on Monday. I was talking to them about this, and then they're finally like, well, what's the IMEI number? And I'm like, how am I supposed to find that? Okay, hold on. Well, you gotta have the phone. I sent the phone back. I can't query the phone for the IMEI number when it's in your possession. And I was like, go to returns.cellcarrier.com. It's a public website. Oh, we have internal systems. I'm like, it's public. Just go, but we can't do that. We have to see it on the we need that track number. I'm like, oh my God. So I give them the track number. I miraculously have the track numbers. And they're like, okay. So they credited back the $374 for one of the phones. And I see it come on. Like when I called, I owed $900 for the month, and then it dropped to $500 because they took it off. And then I'm like, well, where's the other one? Oh, they won't show up for a couple days. I'm like, the one did. No, it didn't. I'm like, I'm looking at the bill. I see it. I see the credit. That credit wasn't there when I called you. So they're outright lying to me. And I trust us, Mr. Haas. It will show up. I have a note in the record. I'm like, well, I heard that line before. So nothing happens. I don't see the charge. So I call back today for another hour. I'm like, where is this charge? Look at my records. It says it should be there. They said it would be a day or two. I waited 4 days. Where is it? And they're like, well, do you have the track number? I'm like,
oh, come on.
So I give them all the information again. And they're like, all right, it's in our system. It will show up. Refresh, you should see it. It ain't there. I log out, log back in. It ain't there. I go on the iPad, it ain't there. And they're like, we'll send you a text message saying we did it. And
with what phone? With what phone?
The phones work. I have my new one works. This is the old one that they're not giving me credit for. And then after all this, they never gave me the trade-in value of the one good phone that doesn't have the cracked screen. Like I was supposed to get like $480, $510, like an iPhone 11 Pro Max, even though it's 2 years old, it still has.
It's got money.
There's
a value
like,
to
that'll
it.
take 2 or 3 billing cycles.
Oh, come on.
I said to them, I'm like, again, they weren't going to give it to me. They were like, no, that $374, that's a valid charge and it has to stay.
Oh, it's valid,
I was like,
right?
hold up. I was like, that's not what I was told. You can check the records. I was supposed to be square. I was just supposed to get out of my whatever I owed because I paid the $5 a month. I was in that plan where you can upgrade early. They make you pay to upgrade, but whatever. I was in the plan, and then I was like, if you don't do what you said you're going to do, I will cancel both of these lines. I'll pay for the hardware. I will leave AT&T and I will never be back. I'm going scorched earth on this. I was like, I've been a member.
Yes.
Oh shit. I said that I don't like to disclose cell phone carriers because it's an attack vector for fraud. But anyway, it was AT&T. My beef is with AT&T. But
it was Consumer Cellular. So if anyone's looking up Consumer Cellular, kidding.
So I was like, I've been a customer. At one time I had 3 lines for over 10 years, probably close to. I mean, I've had it for as long as it was. Anyway, so I'm just like, you better not screw me over. Anyway, so that's what I've been dealing with, and I will do that just to burn them. I would eat hundreds of dollars to get out of my contract and pay for that hardware. Because if I trade in my 2 iPhone 12s that I have, I might get $700 each for. I still owe $1,000 on both of them. So I would lose I would probably eat sick, but I would eat an extra $600 just to stick it to them if they didn't do what they said they were going to do.
So now we're eating things, apparently.
Man, I was what a racket.
Yeah, I mean,
they try and slip it in.
In addition to threading the sort of business thing, though, I would call the Better Business Bureau.
Well, apparently they're doing what they need to do.
Okay.
They never. Now I'll wait in 2 or 3 billing cycles to make sure I get credit for the one good phone that I sent back, and then if that doesn't happen, but still, now I'm in 2.5 hours on the phone for this BS. But can you believe that? Who demands to see the track number of a UPS label?
It should be in the system.
Well, you can go to returns.att.com and put in the email address and put in your confirmation number, and it'll show you your package and how it went through the plant. But it never did go to that final step where they send the reimbursement. But I don't know why it never did, but man.
That's infuriating. That is big time infuriating.
Because see, this is because I had the 2 issues. I had the credit for the good phone, and I had this non-returned hardware fee credited back. And the way they try and slip it in, they're like, well, regarding the return hardware fee, since it is cracked, that is a valid charge. And regarding the non-return, I'm like, wait. Like, hold up. I was like, you're not commanding this conversation. I'm running this conversation.
I'm owning this narrative, not you.
We're not moving on until this is settled. Like, I didn't say that, but in my mind, that was anyway. Ingy's here. Hi, Ingy.
Ingy's here, and we have a Paul and his twin brother. There's a kidnap battle in the chat. We got that going on. It's great. Good stuff. And we have problems with a certain major telecommunications company. So I cleaned that up for you. There you go.
They're all garbage as far as
they're all garbage.
My son's phone, which I also administer, is on a different carrier. But AT&T has given me free HBO Max.
And free aggravation and free agita.
I don't know, but I saw the Dune movie. The Dune movie is out on HBO Max.
Well, Paul's lingering in the comments. Paul, can we do spoilers, or can we? Let us know in the comments. Trapped in the basement. That's so. Austin says, Paul, are you dead because Pete has gone loose and is trying to kill you for locking him in your basement? And Paul says, yeah, it's a real life Dead by Daylight right now, and he's hunting me, and God knows I'm terrible at that game. Austin trying to apply some help here. Paul, do you need Callie and I to come save you because we're at least kind of good? Kind of? Maybe. I don't know.
Hey, have you seen some of the stuff Paul's publishing on his channel? He's doing a lot of back and forth sketches. with himself as two different characters. I love that stuff. He's
Paul says
killing
it.
it.
Paul says it's true. You guys are great, and Ingy's still caught up on the idea of being trapped in the basement. Ha 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 ha! Trapped in the basement.
My basement's the wood shop.
Oh, that's a whole other show.
Whole other show.
So
And I've been so busy at work, I didn't stream in the mornings Wednesday, Thursday, or Friday.
oh my god.
I only did a Monday and Tuesday stream on Awesome Fun Things.
Do you want to make up the Wednesday, Thursday, Friday content right now for
Well, one of the content was going to be about my cell carrier.
All right, so that's one. What are the other two? Come
I
on.
know,
We're playing catch up.
I was so busy I didn't do any show planning. I plan out my show. They're 5-minute shows. I plan them out. I make outlines. I'm a freak.
Well, no, you're just very well organized. You're
That's what you should do.
You're an impeccable.
People should do things intentionally and plan. People plan your
show
content.
intention and show planning. And you don't need to be a project management professional, but you definitely need to show that. Paul says, "Ta-ta, I got me a ticket to Dune, and I best be off. Always fun hanging out." Paul, enjoy the movie, and I'm glad we didn't give you any spoilers. Pete says, Paul thinks he's safe, but I'm playing nurse, and I'm great at her, so he's not even going to get a single generator up. Blinks. And Enda has been watching your shows on replay, Matt. So you got a fan. You got a fan.
Awesomeness. Yeah, I've got shows here.
All things YouTube.
Here.
Awesome wood things.
And I've got shows here.
Piano awesome. Awesome.
I did
fun
my
things.
Bee Gees song. Did we talk about that since it came out?
Your Bee Gees, yeah.
Were we on VF Talks after it published?
No, we were on VF Talks before you published. Then you published it.
Oh, well, it's published. So if you haven't seen Staying Alive, go to Piano Awesome and watch me do it with two different instruments.
One was a harmonica.
No, it wasn't.
Ingy says, I need a two in, Matt. And Easy says, you do woodwork, Matt? Easy's never seen the show before.
I do woodwork. I have Awesome Wood Things is my channel. And the whole premise is I make things out of wood that you wouldn't normally see out of wood. A lot of pop culture, a lot of sci-fi, a lot of Rocky Horror stuff, weird things out of wood. That's my jam.
What is the craziest thing you've ever produced out of wood that you've shown on the channel?
I can get it for you. It's right over there.
Okay, and while you do that,
I need to slide off camera for 1 minute.
Easy says, I do woodwork as well. Easy, in fact, is building a 14-foot by 4-foot garden bed right now. Oh, wow. Holy cow.
I made this. Now, this is actually much more impressive than it looks because, did you see it light up?
Do it again.
Watch this. Oh, you can't quite see it. The eyes glow red and the orb glows white. See, look.
Oh, there it is. There it is.
You can't quite tell the eyes are red. I think the batteries. But this is vinyl on top of glass, frosted behind here, spray painted. This is spray paint. This is vinyl, and then I made the frame, and then I trapped the red and the white LEDs behind it, and I have pins on the bottom that enable and disable those colors. This is a creature from Doctor Who, and it looks evil as hell. It's actually one of the kindest, gentlest aliens in the whole universe. This is called an Ood.
Yeah, yeah. Marcus referred to that before.
I love it. This is the best thing I've ever done. So you can kind of see the red. Can you see the red glowing?
Yeah, yeah, there it is.
But you know, it's hard to
And Easy says that is very nice, Matt. Send it to me at 74 Fairhaven.
and this took. Is it on or off? Yeah, this was the most complex thing I've ever cobbled together, and I love it. I love it. See, look, this is how I engineered the panels
Oh,
to push that lever up and down, like the little plastic nib
yeah.
that was like that thing traps it, and then this sticks down out of the case, and then you push it up and you pull it down, and it's just, so you don't have to take it off the wall to turn it on or turn it off. And then some of the panels have sunken magnets.
Yeah.
So some of the boards on the back. Anyway,
That Ingy called it. She said very cool, and I agree. It is very cool.
it's not for everyone, but I like the multiple layers. I like multiple layer type things. I think that's cool. Like the Pac-Man fruit are multiple layers of acrylic that I cut out, and I don't know. So
Do you agree with this assessment? Easy calls Doctor Who a mix between Twilight Zone and The Walking Dead.
uh, it's hard. It's hard to say because I think it's in a category of its own. Twilight Zone, yeah, it has some Twilight Zone stuff on it. Not so much. Well, maybe The Walking Dead to some extent, but um, I don't know. It was just I like Doctor Who because it meets my criteria for science fiction, and that means it has to be plausible.
For Austin,
It
10
can't
is the
just
best
be,
Doctor and the only Doctor he's seen. 10.
well, like the canon, the explanations for what can occur seem like they could really exist. Now they're fanciful, like we don't have the technology to do that, but it seemed real. And also, like, think about Star Wars. Star Wars takes place in one galaxy. They never leave the galaxy. Everything takes place within that one galaxy. And then Star Trek, you know, there's limits to how far the Federation has explored, but Doctor Who is all of space and time and all universes and all dimensions past our dimension. So it's like the all-encompassing type thing. And
Caleb has a question for you. He says, what's with the retro watch? Surprised you're not wearing a smartwatch.
oh, first of all, I love the 80s. And this watch is the almost identical mold when this debuted in 1983.
G-Shock.
So this hasn't now they didn't have white ones in 1983. This watch has solar panels. You'll never need to replace the batteries or charge it. It's always on. You know, the display never goes away, and it's tuned to the atomic clock, so it's dead on accurate. As long as it can pick up the radio signal, and in Pennsylvania, I've got a strong enough signal where it's true. So astronauts, if you are an American astronaut, they strap this particular G-Shock on your wrist before you it's standard issue because it's rugged enough to withstand space. It's in the world record book for being run over by a semi truck and still working. It can go 20 bar under the sea. iPhone's only 50. It's everything you want in a watch, and you don't have to touch it ever. You don't have to charge it. You don't have to service it. You flip it, you can see it. It's everything you need a watch to be. It's got the countdown timer. It's got the count up timer. It's got the countdown timer. It's got alarms. It's a few other things it has, but It's perfect.
Caleb says that's pretty cool, Matt. And then Easy said, well, it said they were black or blue in the 80s. A friend told me, and I winked at him, and Easy winked back.
Here, I have what it looked like in the 80s. This is still a modern watch, but this is the colorway that was in 1980. It was black with a red outline with the white background and the black text. This watch has the white background and the black text. You can't get this watch in America. You had to order it from Japan. So I put my order in through a website, and the purchase went through in Japan, and I put it on a boat and shipped it here.
And they gave you a tracking number that you're able to track, though, right?
Yeah. This is a black on white colorway. I don't know if you can really see that too well.
You're cutting at it there. That's a bit better. Yeah.
But the American version has black on white. This is reversed. So nowhere in America can you get the white on black face with the white background. And I think the white shows up nice on the wrist. I love it. And I got the matching white wedding band. So that's why I wear the watch. Now, I was going to buy the Apple Watch when it became all flat, but they didn't do it that way.
Did you ever have the Casio calculator?
When I was younger, I did.
Mm.
I did. I owned that watch. And I went to McDonald's and I was doing, they're like, we can figure it out for you, sir. Like, I'm just...
In Caleb's case, he had to remove it for tests.
Yeah, the DW. Yeah, the DW 5000C.
And then the Casio G-Shock DW 5000C in 1983.
Yeah, I love it. And also, Casio has a place in my heart because Casio reminds me of my favorite phrase in the English language. My favorite phrase is paradigm shift.
Paradigm shift.
Why does Casio belong with paradigm shift? That's because in Switzerland had the 90% of the global watch market with their wind-up spring back in the day. And the quartz movement came along, which is you take a battery and you put a little electricity through a quartz stone and it vibrates, but it vibrates very predictably. They count the vibrations and they made digital watches. Digital watches took the world by storm, and the Swiss, they refused that technology. They put their noses up because that was beneath them. Right. They were like, we do the handcrafted, and they refused to get on the bandwagon of quartz movement, and their market share went to 10 in a decade. It almost crippled the Switzerland economy. Yeah.
Kevin had a Casio calculator databank watch. Love that thing. The batteries outlast the universe.
Yeah.
And I remember their PDA, they had the Cassiopeia, which I thought was, for the time, which was late 80s, was incredible. It was before the Apple PDA, all those PDAs that were coming out in the early 90s. There was the Cassiopeia.
Yeah.
And then Austin loving the paradigm shift, by the way.
Another fun tidbit with paradigm shift is, do you remember Swatch Watches?
Yeah, Marcus mentioned that. They came back with us. Yeah.
From Switzerland, and they used the quartz movement. They finally caved and started making quartz watches in Switzerland, but all swatches had the analog face harkening back. So it was their FU to the world, the swatches for punishing the Swiss economy because they refused. And then, as the last ironic paradigm shift, Casio makes an all mechanical watch, and they've mass produced it, and it's less than $30. They have a master crafted, all mechanical, no battery watch, and it's dirt cheap. And that was Casio's second FU. Anyway.
And the British don't ever lose chess because their queen never dies. And for easy, the strap used to make his wrist sweat.
That's why I wear and I'm on Casio's mailing list. And I get all the new watches, but I can't see myself wearing anything other than this. Now listen, here's is Casio listening? I have an announcement, because they have a metal version of this watch, and they start at $500. They go up to about $800, but it's the exact same footprint. This is called the G-Shock Square, even though it's not technically square. This is the nickname.
Have a great night, Sarah. She's got to take the kids to all things. Love you all. Hamish says goodbye to Rex. Rex? Oh, Rex says goodbye back. There you go. You got the nice side of Rex, so there you go. There's a winner. Right. And Kevin says he also loves his Seiko 5.
That's what it is. I got the Seiko 5 all mechanical watch. I did buy that, yeah.
And Marcus says in Lucerne, Switzerland, the tourist gets unloaded directly before the expensive watch stores.
Yeah. So they have an all stainless steel version of this. And it has the capabilities to sync with your smartwatch, but it's essentially this same layout, and that starts at $500. But I don't want the stainless steel. I want it to be metal and be white. They don't make that combination. I think you have to put porcelain on it. Like, it's very hard to make metal white.
I was going to say something crass, like a can of Krylon or something, but you'd probably want to put porcelain on it.
I figure, here's my plan. I'll run for president of the United States, and once I win, I'll have enough clout. I can call up Casio from the White House and say, make me the GSW metal watch with that movement that I want, but somehow make the metal white and give it to me, and I'll wear it as a sitting U.S. president with
Just
my
don't use
white...
the red phone to make that phone call.
You think you're joking, but my cousin worked at NORAD.
Oh, wow.
And his apartment, he had a black desk phone and a red desk phone. And he had 2 computers. The red phone went right into the base, and the second computer was hardwired into the base. Didn't go through the public internet. It was hard. He had a very high level job. Whatever.
Kevin says, I'm just pleased that Michael Knight's watch has become a real thing during his lifetime. Just need a sassy voice assistant in my indestructible car.
The kit car. Yeah. David Hasselhoff. I loved it.
I think his finest acting ability was on the floor after eating Wendy's piss drunk.
There's a meme going around because David got so drunk the one time. Mm-hmm. Like, he got it made world news of his shenanigans. So when my nephew turned 21, his name's Cody, he says, Uncle Matt, will you take me out drinking after I'm 21? It's going to be in a week or 2. And I'm like, yes, I'll do it, but you have to answer me a question. I was like, how drunk do you want to get on a scale of 1 to David Hasselhoff? He's like, David Hasselhoff. I was like, do you know what you just committed yourself to? Mm. So here, see, this is the things I do that I think I'm funny, because I have friends of the family. They have 2 kids, and they were young at the time. They're in, one's a senior and one's in a junior or a sophomore now. Anyway, when they were little, I used to say, how much fun do you want to have on a scale of 1 to David Hasselhoff? They never knew that he was associated with binge drinking. And it was just a joke that we had every time we would hang out, and they wanted to do something. I'm like, how much fun do you want to have? David Hasselhoff. One of my former coworkers, he started selling all of his old toys, and he had puffy stickers that were the Knight Rider David Hasselhoff stickers. I was like, that's on eBay. I'm like, Mark, I'm gonna buy this. I bought his stickers and then gave them to the little girl. And I put a little note in it, and I was like, happy birthday. I was like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how much do you love these stickers? And she opened up, she goes, is that David Hasselhoff? I was like, it's David Hasselhoff.
Kevin says David Hasselhoff walked into a bar and ordered a drink. And he says, it's a pleasure to serve you, Mr. Hasselhoff, said the bartender. The actor replied, just call me Hoff. And the bartender said, sure, no hassle.
Don't hassle the Hoff. You know, it's funny because David actually thought people tuned into Baywatch for the action and the story. Like, no, the slow motion running. That's why you tune in.
There's a woman by the name of Pamela Anderson. I think y'all know her. Yeah.
Oh, Pamela.
Mm-hmm.
Riddled with syphilis.
Enda says his music was a laugh.
Oh, God.
Riddled with syphilis.
Oh, yeah, he's not. She had some struggles with venereal diseases back in the day.
Oh
show.
Who didn't? Anyhow,
Pamela Anderson.
That's right. There you go.
Yeah, she. I think Tommy Lee probably wasn't a help.
That's what I was insinuating.
Hopefully, I see Tommy when he plays in 2022.
And they don't move it to 2023 or 2024 or what?
I already got there's some class action lawsuit because some people want their money back, and they're like, nope.
No.
We just give you the ticket for next year, and they're like, you bumped it twice already.
Hasselhoff's music was somehow successful in Europe. If I remember correctly, Germany specifically, Marcus, if I remember correctly. Don't hassle the Hoff.
Ooh, do you know what I'm learning on the piano now?
What's that?
The band The Kinks, You Really Got Me Now.
Oh, nice.
Dun, 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 dun. Dun, 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 dun. That's going to be a fun one. That requires a lot of pinkies, believe it or not. You go dun, 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 dun. It's not for the faint of heart.
Not for the faint of pinkies either.
Yeah, you really got to.
You have to have a nice long conversation with your pinkies before you start playing that song. It's like, can you put up to the test?
And it's both of them too, because it's dun 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 dun. hard fingering on the piano for that song.
Man, if there's anyone that could pull that off, I know it's you. And
it's got like 8 different sections to it, and each section is just a little bit it kind of all sounds the same, but it's not all the same. Like usually when I learn these songs, they break it up into the 4 parts. You know, the pre-chorus, the chorus, something else, and this is like, I'm like, oh my God, keeps going. I don't know, Ozzy on the piano. Oh,
easy.
I do have an Ozzy song on here. Baby,
Piano Awesome, shameless plug.
What's the song? I do have one Ozzy song. And that's what I want my channel to grow into. I want to do 80s hair bands, all piano versions. So stuff you would never expect to hear on the piano. That's sort of my long-term goal with my playing. I also found out something cool with recording pianos. I'm now capturing the MIDI keystrokes. And I realized something everyone else knows, but when you're learning, like, you don't know this stuff. I just learned something awesome that is apparently common knowledge. But when you capture the
Good night, Kevin. Have a good night.
Good night, Kevin. you can change, like you have individual control over each note. Like you can shift it forward, shift it back. You can make it strike harder. You can make it strike softer. You can stretch it out as if you held it down longer. You've got so you can cheat. Like you could just mash the keys and just take out take out the notes. Because a couple times I hit 2 keys instead of 1. I just removed it in the editing software. I didn't know you could do that. Because I used to just capture it out of the headphone out jack, and then it's just one waveform. They can't do anything with the waveform. It's just all there. But you can slide around. That's how they do it. That's how. And anyway, so I was like, oh, this is going to really up my game.
Yeah, without question. I mean, you're talented. I love the work that you're putting out there, but like what you could do with the MIDI in the back, incredible.
I'm just scratching the surface now, baby.
Yeah. Then you can
and,
truly take over the world, as you were always alluding to.
Well, that's the goal. Take over the world.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I'm having too much fun.
The guitar I don't know is pretty cool.
There's a lot of good stuff. That used to be my my signature line on my email. Don't look at me for answers. Don't ask me. I don't know. Hyphen Ozzy Osbourne. That was how I was signing my emails for a year.
So you're one of those people that put quotes in their email signature too, huh?
Yeah,
I used to do that back in the day.
I don't. Now I just put my social medias and some other. I growned up. I growed up.
I remember my first job out of college. I was putting quotes in the signature when I was back at a major defense contractor, and I realized no one does this anymore, so I stopped.
No, I don't have it anymore. I used to put. I don't know. Oh, more purchases are coming through. Get these purchase alerts every time the cards run.
Congratulations, Gilly, on your 62-hour weeks in cannabis during... I've been doing 62-hour weeks in cannabis during my recovery, and I can absolutely feel it when I don't have the cannabis, the temptation to drink and use. He gave up video games, guitar, and the TV as well. Good on you, man. Good on you.
What else do I want to say? I am...
Easy says, I'm trying to figure out how to edit images or video while I talk. You get me? Do we get Easy on this one or no?
Well, edit videos while... Is that like a streaming thing? You want to edit overlays while you talk? I mean, you can call up Photoshop and tinker around with it and talk.
That's what he was referring to, I think, or that's what he's referring to. Easy says, like a B-roll?
What? Oh, maybe he wants to do a voiceover over top of the video while he talks. So B-roll is more like an edited video type of thing, not necessarily live streaming. But yeah, your video editor will be able to accept an audio file and a video file. You punch them
when
together.
I'm talking and video clips play as I talk. So he is talking about B-roll.
Yeah. You can edit. You can use a video editing app to do that very easily.
I want to address Gilly real quick before we continue. He asks, is this a good strategy, or is this my addictions making me think that this is the right way to do it? My thought is that any sort of relationship with any sort of substance, thing, event, place where it's consuming more time than not is a problem. That's compulsion. So if what you have there, Gilly, is compulsion, then you need to look into that. That's just talking from a psychiatric or not a mental therapy sort of perspective. And what I will also say, I guess that gives me a chance to say that I'll do the plug real quick. I mean, if you're looking for help with respect to mental health, contact SAMHSA. Do I have the graphic for this here? I do. Look at that. Substance Abuse and Mental Health Services Administration at 1-800-662-HELP. That's 1-800-662-4357. The service is open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, 365 days a year. Confidential free information service for individuals and family members facing such stressors. And then also the Suicide Prevention Lifeline at 1-800-273-TALK. That's 1-800-273-8255. Or go to suicidepreventionlifeline.org, or you can text the word HOME to 741-741. My thought there, Gelly, is if you have an unhealthy relationship with any sort of thing, substance, place, thing, get help. Definitely figure out why you have that addiction. Figure out why there's that compulsion and work through it. Easy uses Shortcut. And Shotcut. I put the R right in there, didn't I? Shotcut. And I don't use that app because it seems more than capable.
Yeah, it seems more than capable, that app. I'm not familiar with it, but yeah, very easy to do. Sometimes you can speak directly into the video editor. My video editor, you hit record and the playhead moves and it shows you the video, and you talk into your mic and it captures your audio while it's playing, and then you hit the stop record button, and then you've got an audio file directly. Like, you don't have to do it separately. You don't have to have a different app to capture your audio, render it out as an MP3, and then bring it in. So it's yeah. And then do a Google search, do Shotcut voiceover how to, and see what comes up. I'm sure there'll be stuff there. There's other what's the one video editor app people use that's also free? It's called not Blender. Blender's free too, but that's hard to learn. I forget what it's called. There's another really good one that it's absolutely free.
Easy did a few YouTube how-tos.
Okay. Yeah. Find those how-tos and watch them. They're
absolutely.
Hopefully you find a good one. Usually you can.
Any big plans for the weekend, Matt?
I'm going to Hershey Park tomorrow.
There you go. Nice. Nice.
I'm going to get me a milkshake, and then hopefully I'm going next weekend as well.
Very cool. Halloween weekend?
Tentative plans with someone who you know.
Tentative plans. Someone you know, a name you know, a person you trust.
I'm just going for I hear 2 of the roller coasters have smoke effects in them.
Oh, God, that's going to be great.
And that's new. That's new for this year.
It's been a long time. Yeah, totally cool.
Now what do I do? Because I can park for free and pay $10 and see the Cubs hockey in the old arena. That's the high school and 18, 19, 20, 21-year-olds play in the old arena. And then afterwards go into the park, or show up at the park in the evening, pay $20 to park. So should I pay $10 to park and watch a free hockey game and kill 3 or 4 hours? Or do I just that's my dilemma. I don't know what I'm going to do.
I think you fling for it.
Say that again?
I think you pay the extra and you do whatever you want to do.
Yeah, I think that's I could use the time.
Going back to Easy for a second. For example, I'm talking about Dr. Silkworth, and the image of Dr. Silkworth comes up, and I'm still talking in the background, and then the image comes down, and I come back and continue to talk? ?
In the world of video editing, that's fine. You would have full control over the image, and you would have full control over your vocals, and you can line it up and time it up.
That's indeed a B-roll, Marcus says. And yeah, that's a B-roll.
It's a good video editing technique, because talking heads without anything changing is hard to keep the attention of the viewer. Unless you're JV and Matt, because we're so dynamic.
You think of dynamic, you think of the two of us. That's what we do.
The dynamic duo. Who's Robin between us two?
I have no idea. Is it more like... What was it?
I was saying good luck to Easy.
Yeah, yeah. Good luck, Easy. Hope you pull it off. And Easy, thanks, Marcus.
Anything going on this weekend on your end?
I'm still trying to recover.
Mm.
I So last weekend I spent most of the weekend recovering from the infusion. This week I had a couple things I had to do and travel and everything, and I'm definitely feeling it on a Friday afternoon, Friday evening. So yeah, I have a couple of ideas, couple of plans. People have invited me to places, and if I go ahead and do them, it's going to be a last minute decision. If you're watching, I'm letting you know before I call you later. Say if I do this, it'll be last minute, but I'm just not feeling 100% right now, so I'm letting you know.
I have a suggestion for you.
What's that?
Milkshakes.
Milkshakes. You're saying that milkshakes fix everything. So you're saying instead of waiting, just do this tomorrow. It's tempting. It's very tempting. It is extremely tempting. Because tomorrow I'm gonna spin at 8 o'clock in the morning. I'll probably do something before spin. I'll probably do something after spin because that's a thing now. But yeah, milkshakes sound phenomenal. And you know the fun. I'm gonna be very open and honest for a second. Last night on the show, we talked about how I was feeling faint and I had to have dinner because I was only at like 900 calories. The dinner that I ended up having was at Culver's, and I ended up having a burger, I ended up having fries, and I had a concrete, which ended up being like 2,000 calories. So it put me right where I should be for maintaining. And boy, did I not feel faint after that. I felt like a human being. So the power of the concrete. The power of the concrete. And dipping fries in the concrete.
Yeah.
Who doesn't like to dip fries in the concrete? Easy says, why I ask? Because I don't want to make it boring by me just talking for an hour with my mug on the video and bore my audience to death. Easy, you're far from boring. Don't worry about that. But you are on the right path. I agree with you, Matt.
Yep. That's what I teach in my class. I teach an online class, and it's for free. allthingsyoutube.com. And
allthingsyoutube.com. That's really good.
That point is made very clear. 40 pounds. Oh, good on you.
Good on you, Easy. Good on you.
I'm hovering at 18 because I've been consuming too much candy. I can't get back into ketosis.
303 down. 303 down.
Holy cow.
Yeah, and the thing is, I didn't put any of these pictures in the open, but like I took a lot of pictures while I was away. And the person I was doing this customer visit with was taking pictures of me too, because he couldn't believe how much I've lost. And like, it ended up being a lot of pictures. And did we do anything on TikTok? I don't think we did. And like, it was like I felt like a human being. I finally feel like a human being. If that makes any sense. Easy says type the Matt show on here if you can, and he'll subscribe. All Things YouTube, I think. Right.
I'll do him one better. I'm now signed in under All Things YouTube. I'll put a link to everything I do. Did that show up?
Not yet, but now I do this, and now you got this.
Yeah, there it is.
Boom.
There's 4 YouTube channels on there, and have at it. I mean, and if you're not interested in one of my topics, don't feel like you have to subscribe. I mean, only subscribe if you think you'll dig the content. But I try and put out quality stuff.
Comment, subscribe, ring that bell, and buy Matt all the coffees and super chats and all that stuff. Because Matt is incredible. He deserves all that. And a lot more.
Pumping out free content takes a lot of time and energy. But I love doing it. And I love sharing what I do with the world. I love teaching you how to be better on YouTube, teaching you how to use tools in the wood shop, and teaching. I've got a knack for it, and it's
When we
enjoyable.
teach, we end up becoming smarter ourselves because we learn things in order to teach details of the concepts that we talk about and teach. So
That's the thing a lot of people don't realize is you learn a lot while you're teaching.
mm-hmm.
That's not a joke. Like that's like
No.
a legit thing. I taught a lot. Do you know how many people I taught Adobe Illustrator and some of the other Adobe apps? I used to teach in adult evening classes at the college where I graduated with.
I'm thinking at least 5 people, maybe more than 5.
A lot. I can use those Bezier tools like nobody's business.
Austin's being cute. He thinks he can use all these shortcut commands, and you think I'm using string. I'm not using that, but he says even if there isn't a command, he still does it. That bless your heart, bless your heart, Austin.
I watched a YouTube video on the mathematics behind the Bezier curves of Adobe Illustrator. It was actually fascinating. It was fascinating how the computer calculates that. And I'm like, yeah, that makes perfect. I wrote it down. De Castillo's algorithm.
Yeah, there you go.
Is that it?
Easy asks a really good question. He says, "How did you get all those subscribers?"
Slow and steady, my friend.
Mm-hmm. He continues to say, "Any tips and tricks in attracting people to your videos with keywords, tags, etc." Awesome.
I have lots of tips and tricks. Allthingsyoutube.com. I break it all out for you. Tips and tricks on attracting people. Okay, here's what you have to understand. I'll give you the spiel, the breakdown, the secret.
The secret. Not to be confused with the book or the movie.
YouTube is not a one video game. It's a catalog of stuff over time. So you always have to think about your next video and improving your next video. Hello. To get your audience growing on YouTube, you have to accurately paint a picture of what the person's going to get, and then you have to deliver. In other words, your title and your thumbnails need to accurately explain what that video is behind it. And then once they click into that video, you need to hold their attention the whole way through. So I'm talking click-through rate, and I'm talking average percent viewed, or the view duration. If you nail those two things, it's a simple concept to understand. It's hard to do in practice, but it's all about meeting the expectation of what the viewer thinks they're going to get. Because you can get them to click with clickbait, but if you're not delivering what they think they're going to get, they nope out of there. And if they don't watch the video the whole way through or most of the way through, that hurts you. If you can consistently drive up your click-through rate by having accurate and enticing thumbnails and titles, and once they're on your video, do things like the B-roll. We're talking about the B-roll. That holds people's attention. If you can get them watching the whole way through, the algorithm will reward you in spades. That's how it kicks in.
Easy wants to make shorts, and he wants to have an affiliate program as well, or has an affiliate program as well.
Nothing wrong with any of that. I'm all for it. But everything you do should be to grow your audience. And then the business stuff can come later. You can start selling stuff. You can start building up your email list. There's other things you can do to earn revenue and to complete your mission. Like, I don't know what your mission is. Are you there to entertain? Are you there to inspire? Are you there to teach? Are you, whatever your goal, or make money. There's nothing wrong with making money on the internet. Go for it. Make the money. But if you're giving value and you're giving people what they expect and do it consistently, then you'll grow an audience. Without the audience, nothing works. Nothing works. You're not going to be able to
Comedy
inspire.
Netflix affiliate. He has an affiliate program about Comedy Netflix.
Yeah. all. I mean, that's a great way to use an audience to meet your goals through affiliate programs and other things like this. But the audience isn't going to come because you have a Netflix affiliate account. That you have to tack that on to the content that you're providing, and the content you provide should be entertaining or useful in some way. That's what I think. And all holding people's attention, that's really 95% of what you need to do on YouTube. And that's where the learning comes in. That's where the techniques come in.
He wants to show shorts by editing stand-up comedy shorts from Creative Commons. The affiliate on the description.
It's the internet. You can do whatever you want as long as it's within.
As long as it's commons and it's copyright free.
You know what? A lot of people have success on. They read Reddit posts. Those things are blowing up. They get to 100,000 in 3 months. All they do is they just read awesome Reddit posts about crazy stories that happen.
Awesome Reddit things.
I was thinking about launching a channel where I just read Reddit posts. Swoosh is a good one, and R Swoosh, and Am I the asshole? Am I the a-hole?
Easy says, Matt, you can be very honest with me, Matt. He likes raw truth.
Yeah. It's hard to say if the concept will resonate. There's a lot of people that
Time
love
will tell,
comedy.
Easy. Time will tell.
Yeah. The thing is, throw stuff up against the wall and see what sticks. Now, I have 4 main channels, but I have channels that I have buried because they didn't stick. I had a Learn Adobe Illustrator program or a channel. I shut that down. It didn't stick. I've got other channels that I've had.
Easy's wife listens and watches Reddit videos. And Austin says, awesome Reddit thing. Sounds like a great idea. But his favorite Reddit is the Blender Reddit because it gives him inspiration.
Yeah. I like some of those stories. Malicious Compliance is a fun Reddit. That is hilarious. That's probably my favorite subreddit is Malicious Compliance.
Reading Reddit stories voiceovers is free use, he says.
Yeah.
Oh
yeah.
It's public content. It's not copyrighted.
It's public content. And a lot of people, they put the screen name of the Redditor who made the original post, which is a nice optional thing to do. But yeah, go for it.
Going back to Gilly for a second, he asks, during your long-term recovery, did you use anything like cannabis or a similar equivalent to take an edge off during the process? Did you have a go-to thing? Honestly, Gilly, the closest I would say is CBD. And it's only because when the symptoms got really bad with the MS, that's when I went to CBD for a short period of time. Never on the cannabis, never on anything else. That's just the honest truth. And Gilly, I'm fighting 500 things at the same time here. Talking obesity, talking gambling, talking alcoholism, talking co-addiction, codependency, divorce, bankruptcy. I'm fighting a lot, right? So I think the thing that I look to, Gilly, is the fact that I go back to why I'm doing what I'm doing. And when I think about that, usually 9 times out of 10, I'm in a better place. When I had to take CBD, that was because I was in pain. Matt is jaw agape. Go for it.
I looked at my AT&T bill and I see the credits are there now.
Oh, yes, there it goes. There it is. You get a sound effect too.
Now I just have to wait 2 to 3 billing cycles to see if they pay me for the phone that was not correct.
Easy says the affiliate, sorry, wrong one. Easy says, I was not too sure I could do that. Yeah, it's public information. It's not copyrighted. So yeah, go ahead, Easy. And then Austin says, I use CBD for my mental health issues. And when I turn 18, my dad wants to move to the real stuff, but I seriously don't want to. Austin, I would say, do what makes sense for you, but always seek help before you do it. Meaning, therapist, doctor, what have you, right? Those are the key constructs. I always look to my PCP, I look to my doctors to figure out what the right way to go is. Always look for medical advice before you do anything. Easy responding to Gilly says, come on, graphic. There we go. I'm over 24 years sober, and what I had to do is learn how and what alcohol was doing to my mind and body, and I had to look at my human condition by facing the truth about myself. Even when I did not like what it was. He experienced a psychic change. I'm not sure if he meant psychic or physical, but he experienced a change nonetheless. We're talking about everything tonight, Matt. We're all over the place.
Yeah, we are running the gamut here.
Anything and everything, just like I say on the description when we talk about the show.
So, I should see my son this weekend.
Milkshake, huh?
I think my son's coming up. No, he's not getting milkshakes with me. But I'm giving him my iPad. And the iPad I ordered is stuck in Tennessee, and it finally said cleared customs, and then 3 days later it said clearing customs. It's an infinite loop of clearing and unclearing customs.
Who knew Tennessee had such strict customs?
Well, that's where they land. It comes in from China.
I know, but the country of Tennessee, we all know about that. What is your favorite flavor of milkshake? As we go back to that for a second.
Oreo.
So you're like that song, the Applebee's, the bougie song, the Oreo shake. Yeah, I get you. I can't believe I quoted that song. I cannot believe I quoted that song. Oreo shake sounds good. Austin says, honestly, I'm surprised I hit 50 subs because I haven't posted a new video in over 3 weeks because I just can't do it mentally. My mental health has been in the toilet recently.
Do you know there's a YouTuber that got 100,000 subscribers and published 0 videos? There is a YouTuber. His YouTube channel is all about launching YouTube channels and getting them to 1 million. The guy is insane. It's called Jack Sucks at Life.
Oh, that's a great name. That's fantastic.
He's a young British kid, and he has a wall of play buttons. And you know what he does? He's like, I wonder how many characters can be in a channel name that will fit on a play button. So he made this gobbledygook, just a stupid name that was just, with no space. It's so they couldn't break it, you know. And he got a letter from the guy who was like, am I seeing this name right? He's like, yeah, that's the name. And
did you remember the tilde?
And it was all on one line with no rap.
Easy wants to go into a quiet room, do a Reddit voiceover video, sitting in the garage and trying to sound like Morgan Freeman. This guy who makes
these videos, they're cleaning up on views, man. They're cleaning up.
This guy who makes beluga videos, copying from Discord, got a huge amount of subscribers in 3 months.
You never know what's gonna resonate, because some of the woodworkers, like, they labor for weeks putting something together, and then they take another week to put the video together, and they have like 1 video a month, and they're killing themselves. And animation channels, they can spend 8 hours on 20 seconds and then you got people that build this contraption where it has 3 hammers and a lever, and you pull the lever, and he has a mechanism where it randomly drops 1 hammer. And so he'll put like an apple, an orange, and the new M1 iPad. And he'll say, he'll have these live streams, and they're like, which one do you think it's going to be? And then he'll pull the hammer, and then it'll smash the iPad, and people freak out, and hundreds and hundreds of thousands of people subscribe to that channel. It's just some dude in his backyard with all plywood and 2x4 contraption with some sort of randomized gear mechanism in it.
Austin just wants to go into a quiet room and think his thoughts. And then Easy says, look up beluga videos and you know how intelligent mankind is on what they are watching. LOL. Austin says, 8 hours for 20 seconds. Dang, they're good. I'm at over a month for 5 seconds right now.
Well, my Prince unboxing video, 2 weeks it took me to film the first 12 seconds.
It's dedication.
That was hard. I had to rig up something where the camera and my hand was locked. So when I moved the camera, I was holding a knife, and I plunged the knife into something. But I didn't want the shot to where the knife would come down the screen and plunge. I wanted the knife to stay in the exact same spot and the background to fall up into the knife. You should see this weird, like I cobbled this thing together and it worked. You can move the video forward frame by frame and the knife is in the exact same pixels as the background comes up and plunges into the...
Easy asks, can you monetize Reddit YouTube channels?
You can monetize any YouTube channel that has over 1,000 subs, 4,000 watch hours, and it has been accepted into the YPP program. Yeah, you absolutely can.
Austin says, animation is so hard, but so fun, but I'm doing everything, capital letters, in my animation by scratch.
Well, there's an app. I think it's $1,000. It's called Toon Boon.
Toon Boon.
And it's for animation. It's a line art tool, but it has the variable line thickness. So you can have a Wacom tablet, and when you draw, your line forms will be thin and then go fat and thin, you know. But it also animates it, and it's built for animating cartoons that you render yourself. It's called Toon Boon. I think it's $1,000. So if you're gonna get into that game, you got to spend some money.
Austin uses Blender. He should have mentioned that he's doing 3D animation.
Blender is flippin' awesome. It's very complex. It's a very complex program because it's a video editor, it's a 3D modeling program, and it's an animation program. It's 3 programs in one. It's all open source. It is a beast of a program, but you could make Hollywood movies with Blender. Like, it's fully capable. But it's tough because these open source projects, usually the UI isn't very refined, and they just have buttons and drop-down menus everywhere. And also, when you're putting things in your timeline, they have to be the same frame rate. So if you have a 29.9 frames per second and a 30 frames per second and a 60 frames per second, it's like no dice. Like, you've got to take the extra time and get everything, you know. If you're doing Final Cut Pro, boom, 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 it just does it for you. So, anyway.
Austin says, you can make Hollywood movies while I'm over here making a ball roll down a ramp. You know, I use Blender. I make protein smoothies every morning. I use my Ninja. Bad joke. Thanks. Appreciate it.
No,
I'm here all week.
There's a couple video editors I recommend, and one of them is Blender. But you gotta be the techie type person that can stomach the learning curve of that app. But once you get it, man, it's fully capable.
Marcus says you have to start somewhere. That is the truth. And
if you learn Blender, you can learn anything.
Austin says, I was waiting for someone to make that joke. You're welcome. You're welcome, Austin. Of course I'm going to go with the protein powder joke, aren't I? Vega Sport Powder. Vega Sport Powder. That's what I've been doing lately. Then some blueberries and almond milk.
Ah.
Austin says in capillaries, oh my God, why haven't I thought about this? I'm going to make a blender in Blender.
Nice. Well, John, we've been going an hour and a half.
Yeah,
How are
I
we
know.
holding
And
up?
and coming up in hour 3, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh, one more fun tidbit.
Sure.
I am no longer, by choice, no longer vice president of the Harrisburg Senators fan club.
So you're
I'm
you're
out.
you're dissolved. The
I'm out, baby.
When was that dissolving
OUT.
meeting?
I did not run for the seat at our reorganization meeting, and someone else has the role.
So you wish the new vice president best of luck in the
Oh yeah.
2022 season?
Oh yeah. Just more time to focus on the content. That's the goal.
Well, I mean that allows you to take your services to other AA ball clubs across the country.
That is a possibility, but it will not happen.
It's like you remember when they had the decision, LeBron James on ESPN. He's taking his talent to South Beach. You should do a YouTube. I'm taking my talents to Akron, Ohio.
Goodness. Oh,
I'm going to be the official vice president of the Zips fan club. Sue says this has been fun. See you Tuesday, JV. Sending prayers and hugs to all of you. Thank you, Sue, for tuning in tonight. And Easy says already can have 2 separate channels then, Reddit and comedy channel. There you go. You're coming up. You know what you're doing, Easy? You're workshopping during our show. That's fantastic. Good on you.
I love it. Send me the links.
Austin says, I also just thought about this and I'm excited for it. I get to give an anti-bullying presentation to 7th graders on Wednesday. Let us know about it. That sounds incredible.
Yeah, that's cool.
In fact, if you get your stuff ready for Tuesday, I may drop mention of that on Tuesday's Venture Forward. So let me know. Let me know, Austin.
My email address is matt at, and then just pick a channel. Matt at Awesome with Things. Matt at Piano Awesome. Matt at All Things YouTube.
Matt at all the things.
All.com. I buy the .com domain names.
That's right. Yeah, I think on that I'm going to put a giant bow on this. And
My friend.
I hope you have that incredible Oreo shake this weekend. And I might have an Oreo shake as well, because that sounds great.
I think I'm going to go with peanut butter.
Peanut butter sounds awesome.
It's
Easy says...
technically the Reese's peanut butter cup.
Oh, that's great. Easy says thanks to you and Matt. And Easy says thanks to Austin and Marcus as well. Austin says... It's going to be at school, but I can send you the slides presentation if you want. Yeah, I'd be very interested, for sure. Because next week on Adventure Forward, not to talk about that real quick, we're going to talk about mental health. Tuesday about the importance of therapy, but then Thursday, the topic is how to be your best advocate. And we kind of hinted at that tonight with Gilly. You have to be your own advocate. So we're going to talk about that on the main show. I'll tell you about that in a second when I try to put a bow on this. But Matt, I hope you have a wonderful weekend and have that peanut butter cup shake that sounds incredible right now.
I won't let you down, my friend.
Thanks
for having me on. We'll catch you next time.
Take care, man. Matt Haas, ladies and gentlemen, go back to Maine. We'll talk a little bit about next week's topics. So Tuesday night, we're going to talk about the things that you look for in therapy. And we've talked about it at some level over the year and change of this show, but we're actually going to go through the mind process that I went through when gravitating to internal family systems, but also finding a therapist that understands the many different things that were going on in my life outside of the fact that I'm battling multiple addictions at the same time. So we're going to talk about that on Tuesday. Thursday, we're going to transcend that story and we're going to talk about how to become your best advocate. Because at the end of the day, a therapist can walk you through many different roads. Even a psychiatrist can walk you down many roads. But at the end of the day, you have to be your best advocate. And we're going to talk exactly the sort of mind process that goes in trying to go to that sort of mindset. It is not easy. And we'll talk about the sort of hard demand there is. And that hard ask that you're asking of yourself to become your best advocate. But once you make that pathway, once you start doing it for yourself, you'll find that little by little, more and more, it becomes easier. We talk about that. 2 hard topics that are related, Tuesday and Thursday night, 8 o'clock Eastern, 5 o'clock Pacific. And then Friday night, we're going to do the same thing we do on every Friday night. We're going to have a conversation about anything and everything on VF Talks at 6:30 Eastern, 3:30 Pacific. But until next time, I'm going to say the same thing I say at the end of every Venture Forward and VF Talks. Stay safe, stay sane, stay strong, stay sober. You're worth it. Have a great night. Have a great weekend. I'll see you Tuesday night at 8 p.m. Eastern, 5 p.m. Central for the next episode of The Venture Forward. Good night.
Heading to Vegas in my blue striped car. She's riding shotgun and she looks like a star. Yeah, she's got the style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She says she likes it better when we go off-road. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. Gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. The sky is blue, I got the sun in my eyes. It can't get better than when she makes that smile. Yeah, she's got that style that makes you think she's made out of gold. She's turning up the volume on the radio. Yeah. I'm gonna make it worth your while. I'm gonna make it worth your time. I'm gonna make it worth your while. When she's with me, we're like superstars. Windows roll down, radio on. I think we could go far. We don't need money. We can skip that part. All I want is her to be with me. She's got a ticket to my heart. Ticket to my heart. 1, 2, 3.